smashed it out of the park. And if I see this setup, you're going to have Prio on bot side, you're going to have Prio in top lane, Pyosik is going to have free game anywhere outside the early game, because I think that's where Fade has a little bit of an edge, but Fade is not the punishing type. I like this early draft here from DRX.
Yep, and also this is extreme comfort for Solker as well. He does very much like Victor. This guy just likes control mages in general, and Pyosik, when it comes to tearing apart an opponent jungler, it makes it better when he's on the champion that he literally birthed into the LCK.
Later in the game. But that is so far off, and I think this mid-game spike that DRX is going to have is going to be absolutely monumental. This invade, we've seen this backfire time and time again. He's going to get found out here.
I mean, it was so obvious that Croco was going to be here as well, as Croco's just running after him. Pyosik gets the smite off, but immediately the follow flash is going to be there. And yes, I mean, Pyosik should be able to kite this one relatively well with phase rush, as well as just being Lilia, so he does make it out. Fast, stealing things away. Pyosik might be able to contest this, but there's the flash up hold. As Pyosik gets exhausted, it looks like he's okay for now, as Bao just going to jump on top of the cow. Croco also in trouble now, as I didn't mean to rhyme everything, but sometimes these things happen. Flash into the brush, Croco in trouble, and Bao is back in this game.
I think it's necessary. I think one Mystic shot does not really do that much.
I think he was mainly just trying to get vision on Udyr so that he would run away. And yeah, look, that's a way to do it.
Yeah. Interesting.
Well, now there's a Nara into the wall. Doesn't quite get the stun, but it looks like they will have the damage. Kingin going to flash away as Pyosik. Not a lot that he can do. Does put them to sleep, but no, Summit actually going to be okay. Back to Mini Nara at exactly the right time. That's the hyper proc you were looking for. Shelly's coming. She's going to take the long way around, but she'll make it. As Kingin, he's got a long walk to get out of this one. As, yep, out of the brush comes the scary shellfish. It's a really cute way.
Possible flank from Summit necessary. If you just let the DRX poke for free, it'll be a rough one for Liv Sandbox.
He's also getting poked out. Doesn't have much of a Nabar. As in goes Becca, flashes away immediately as now Effort gets amongst it. It is going to be the Ocean Soul as the Solar Flare connects onto Effort as well. It's a big old sleep as Kingin looking for Summit off towards the side, just keeping him busy, but he's just going to get solo killed off towards the edge. And Liv Sandbox actually win the ensuing 4v4 off to the other side. And Bao realizes he has no real option as they were waiting to deliver him back into the pit, and this one should go over to Prince pretty comfortably. That was adorable.
The flip side of this is that DRX's struggles continue. This is not the same team.
This is the worry, right? And Effort going to displace Becca. He tries to get back out again, but that's 4 people. There's no amount of tankiness that this Leona has that's going to allow her to survive that.
Once your Pokemon becomes inconsequential.
Oh no. Effort finds him once again. Oh, not going to be in range of the trample though. It's good sidestep. And oh, it's getting close. Summit really wants to get that. Hop does not find the blind. Boomerang.
Engage. You needs to carry all the weight, and I don't think that she really can.
Well, Pyosik's going to get smacked into a wall. The wall-up does come down, but now it is Summit's turn to get surrounded, and he's going to get popped. So the little orange balloon going to be said goodbye to, and now Effort looking for some revenge. And Becca, I think I've seen this movie before. This is going to be difficult. True Shot Barrage going to connect through the Eclipse, not quite enough, but with Syndra there, they are able to lock down the Leona. Grabbing himself a kill here, DRX grouping up as 5. And we're looking for Soul Point on the side of Liv Sandbox. They get it as I say it. And now, okay, poke on both sides, remember, but you do have to be really careful. This Ezreal is hitting like a truck. Kingin in so much trouble. He'll get stunned. There's the pole. Goodbye, Jace. The trade's going to be there most likely as the Alistair will fall down, and the Chaos Storm did do a fair bit of damage. Summit looking for the re-engage as Solar Flare finds a slow onto Fate. Pyosik goes golden, but now he might be out of position. Has to flash, but does make it to safety. 1-for-1 still, as DRX are looking now to disengage.
And the fights are really going well for Liv Sandbox here, even with Effort dying there in the very end.
That much.
Oh boy.
Yep. Is it happening? Is Summit once again going to get caught out of position? In goes Bao. Hops back out with the reset, and he'll be able to grab it. Team, I believe, in the last 2 years. It's one of those hurdles they haven't been able to get over, and now Summit looking for an opportunity. Pyosik goes golden. True Shot Barrage a little bit too early as the Bambi just escapes. Gonna be all right for now, but that's a lot of buttons now on cooldown as Liv Sandbox look to take down their Ocean Soul, and they should be able to just grab this for free. Yeah, plenty of damage right there. Scatter the Weak doesn't land, but who cares? They've got an Ocean Soul on a comp that has some pretty decent poke. Now is still an option, still a win condition, as there's a headbutt pull from Effort. Doesn't necessarily find enough of his targets. It looks like Kingan's going to go down. Summit finds the backline as well, as the Meganar will get stunned up. Becca now looking for his way out as Fate wants to be able to lock this one down. Croco is dead already. Bao is at full health. There were some lower health bars on the side of Liv Sandbox and DRX. It could have been way worse for these guys. Oh! Pyoshik just gets completely clobbered by the True Shot barrage.
As you said before, Liv Sandbox, they don't skill poorly either. Sure, they don't have the greatest of teamfight comps, but they have hard engage. Effort has been super diligent in making those plays work, and I think the base is just going to crumble here, Atlas.
Yep, certainly started to, as that's a decent scat of the week. Onto Becker, he gets taken down below half health. Not going to be engaging anytime soon. Eclipse not enough to save this guy. There's just too much damage. This was a different Jace that would have been actually something that mattered, but unfortunately not quite, as Becca has to flash away as well. So much range, so much poke, so many things just flying towards DRX. Liv Sandbox now just going to kite back towards the Elder Drake that has just popped up. Now looking to set up a gank brush. There are many different brush options. Okay, that's a decent stopwatch from Kingin. Keeps himself alive for the moment. Flashes out, Croco gets exploded. Bao picks up that kill, but they've traded 1 for 1 for now. Effort now has to limp out of this fight, as you can see Summit looking for even more. Solka, oh god, every auto attack is so damaging. But Liv Sandbox, look at these low health bars. Does not matter. Tick, 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 and they're full health again thanks to the Ocean Salt.
And the base is crumbling. They just lost 1 Nexus turret. If they didn't all go back there, they would have lost 2. The triple inhibitor down is one of the most prohibitive things in League of Legends, Atlas. You can't leave your base ever. DRX, they go for a Hail Mary fight, hoping to find an angle. They absolutely do not find anything.
Yep, now we're pushing in towards the base. Oh god, Bao is so close to getting dragoned. But he does make it back to the fountain for now. This Nexus turret, oh my god, it explodes. Huge pulverize from Effort, as well as Kingan died at some point in that fight. Now the dragon's coming down. Double kill already for the Ezreal, as Effort gets saved by a buster shot actually for quite some time. But now Prince is just able to play with his food. That's the Quadra. The Nexus is dead, and Liv Sandbox, while we talk about it,
and of
a
course,
lot of damage done by the Ezreal. Prince was just massive this game.
And this was with the DRX mid and bot lane actually getting a kill early.
Yeah.
And it didn't change anything about the matchup. It didn't really change anything about how the game as a whole went. And DRX, they need to find a way to stop fighting themselves, because this team is looking way more insecure. They're not looking as clean. The things that made them really strong initially were not only the way that they played out their late game flippy moments where it's just like, haha, we got you after all, but also legitimately individual performances that right now.
Yeah, I think Prince should be locking away the Orianna here. That's what I would do if I was a coach on the side of Liv Sandbox, but I am not, so it will be Twisted Fate. And Fate, of course, named after this champion, so he's going to pull out an old favorite. Saw Caps do it last night, or this morning, with what is happening elsewhere. However, there's some setup, especially if you have Meganar on the top side, for Croco to come in and get some ganks down in the earlier stages. In fact, every lane has some pretty okay setup, so when it comes to getting the priorities around the lane and actually allowing Croco to pop off and get some kills early.
Sure, theoretically you can make it work later on, but more prior than a man could possibly want.
Well, we're doing some biffo here on the bottom side as Bao has to cleanse. Oh my goodness, he takes so much damage as Becca's still chasing after Prince. They think that they have an opportunity to do this as Becca gets exhausted at just the right time. Tries to get on back. The flash over Prince is going to be taken, and Effort steals away the first blood. It's a 1-for-1 in the end, as now Becca's trying desperately to get out of this one, and you can see Effort, he's lining up the headbutt, wanting to deny this, and oh dear. It was important. To me, as Kingan comes back, now looking for Summit. Pyoshik's here as well, with the same idea. There's the Onslaught of Shadows, devastating charge to bring him back, and no empowerment needed when it comes to that Shock Blast. That was a very dead Gnar. Going to be looking for any dives, I don't think. It's just going to be some plates taken down here as Pyoshik, moving on by, will actually spot Summit out here with the sweeper. Comes on over. You can see, actually, teleport comes back for Kingan, and it's all the plate gold going over to Pyoshik. Interesting. I would have liked to see the Jace get a little bit more money there.
I agree. I think that Jace used it very well. Now, of course, hack rate is really, really strong, but still,
Yeah, Hop comes out. Croco looking for his opportunity. No Destiny actually utilized yet. It's 13.5 minutes into the game as there's the onslaught of shadows. Summit flashes out of the way, and finally the Destiny comes in. He waited for the opportune moment, and we'll be able to lock down that kill. Great interruption here on the bottom side as Effort says no to the Zenith Blade.
Pioshik knew he was playing around that Destiny, he was going in and out, and then it wasn't used initially. Must have been like, okay, he mustn't be here, right? Because they didn't have full vision of where Fate was. Maybe you're wrong back.
That's just a 1v2 solo kill for Kingin.
What?
Maybe just didn't expect that.
Super big. Croco has Ghost, almost has Ragnarok available.
Yeah, there's the back. Maybe suboptimal timing, was wanting to make sure that Effort turned up as the Shock Blast now on cooldown. Chilling Smite comes in. There's the exhaust. Headbutt, just trying to make sure we have as much CC as possible. And, okay, we'll see whether this Undertow is going to connect. It does not! Need to get a bigger arm on that one, and they do turn away. Kingin will survive.
No Destiny Gate available for Fate, so he can join this play, and now the punish.
Yep, Solar Flare towards the bottom side is now Summit once again going to be fallen down. Having a lot of fun watching last night because I've been a Score fan for a long time, and he gets made fun of for his smites a lot. And to know that there are other teams in the world that also struggle with that is pretty cool, as Fate's going to get ganked and will be taken down. Takes him a little while, as you can see the Olaf trying to do what he can as well. Summit's going to turn up to join the party, but it's not the party that he wanted to go to. He should have definitely opted out. No RSVP should have come through there.
They're looking completely fine. And
okay, we're looking for the option as Fate going to take a lot of damage, but he does get stunned up. This is the combo that we were talking about, and that is going to be comfortably secured.
Yes, so, if he has Seraphine, which is not in this game, so...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Solar Flare is going to connect. Pop goes the Gnar once again. It was Gnar domination in game 1. Now he's just being dominated as Croco going to get booped over his wall, and the inner turret now going to fall down. This is turning into a extraordinarily one-sided affair for However, what's the answer? What are you supposed to do here? No teleport on Summit, who's respawning in 7 seconds. Fate does find himself a flank angle, but it's 4v5, and the 5 has more money than you by a considerable margin. DRX definitely not wanting to throw at this point, as Croco doesn't exactly have the flash. As in goes Pioshik, looks for this one more time. Pioshik does get popped. It's Prince that grabs the kill. He's still at full health. The low health bars of DRX, they've been tanking the Baron and they didn't want to. The Zoe will be taken down. Becca will get executed as well. Is this the throw? Have DRX done it? I don't know whether it is. It's certainly not a good sign.
Shredding through them. Well, Live Sandbox, sure, they don't have 4 people there, but they have a 5th and 6th one in the form of the Baron. Baron King need to make it work here.
Yep, Summit makes it to Mega Gnar, does it just in time as Croco secures the Baron. Now still trying to look for something, but there's a crush to get this Gnar over the wall. Destiny certainly gives all of the information over to Live Sandbox. And now there's going to be a fight around this river. Effort looking for the opportunity. Headbutt pole. They want to take down the Zoe. They do so very comfortably. Summit! He was smacked all game, but finds a huge ulti into the backline. Bao, though, still finding the damage. Fate wants a little bit more here, as it's a triple kill for the Horse. Pioshik has come alive. That's the Quadra. Could he be locking down the Penta? You betcha he is! Goodbye, Fate! And hello to a potential Game 3, as that is the Pioshik pentakill. Next one, I mean, Mountain Soul with Pioshik as massive as he is, as he looks towards the back line. Maybe he's a bit too far away. Decent pole, but goodbye, Prince. And Becca will try and jump on top of the rest of the Live Sandbox members who are now scattering. That side lane play that we were talking about, absolutely what they're trying to do, because Twisted Fate absolutely nowhere in sight. And DRX, Live Sandbox, now sands their Kai'Sa, looking to attempt to defend as in goes Becca, explodes the Olaf, as now Pioshik wanting to get some more work done. Another pole only lands onto one. 3-man Solar Flare is beautiful as Everfrost is going to stop Fate in his tracks. Bao grabs the double kill, and this will be the end of the game. DRX will make sure that the final series of Spring 2021 goes the distance. And this might be the redemption that they were looking for. But feeling that Kingin's probably pretty up there and is going to top the charts. Bit of an honorable mention over to Fate, who was able to get a few wildcards in there, but 12,000 damage from the Hecarim. And yeah, the Live Sandbox Olaf situation, the Na situation this time was just obliterated by this Jace, as well as having his horse stabled towards the top side. And this was DRX just finding a snowball. There was a hiccup, but then as you can see by the goal graph, it wasn't even enough to get Liv Sandbox a lead before it was taken away by a Penta horse.
And I think the Jace is fine, obviously, for the counter matchup into the Na. It wasn't banned. Summit hopefully we'll be able to punish that matchup as much.
Do it, Sulka. Don't be scared.
Yes.
Oh, no, that's not. That's not what I wanted. Take it away.
Honestly, Atlas, there is a Samira in the game, and at this point, Samira as a champion that we don't see very often anymore, right? She fits into specific comps. I think it's a decent pick. It's not nearly as mind-blowingly strong as it was at the beginning of the split, and even then, teams identified that it could actually be exploited. It could actually be played against pretty decently. A lot of CC is one of those ways, and there is a considerable amount available here for DRX.
And that is the DRX. They will have a decent time in the early laning phase, and then someone will make an error, they'll fall behind, then they will find a heroic skirmish around the mid-game. Not a whole lot of action in this early stage of the game as Kingin will land the wallop there onto Summit. There's the flash forward from Pyosik, lands the bowling ball as well, and watch out, Eep, you are dead. First blood over to DRX's jungler once again. He's going.
That's just going to be another ganking opportunity. Summit wants to shove out this wave really badly, but he's just leaving himself open to a gank, but the alternative is just as bad, and Pyosik's making his way up.
Yeah, few autos cancelled there, unfortunately, for Summit, so it doesn't get quite enough damage as, okay, it's sleepy time for Summit. And this is yet another kill. Pyosik just feasting on the Jace.
It's tilt. That's... They're in his head. You 100% know what's going to happen there. Jace, he has the slow push. He feels like he's shoved out the wave. I think, though, that if Summit, he doesn't go for the trade there. Because if you overstep a little bit, Udyr is just... It's so straightforward, right? You run in, you kill them. Or fade.
Oh, this is actually very cute. The bait does come through. Pyosik, though, very strong. And Sulka, they're not going to be able to commit to the kill. Flash available for the Udyr if he wants to. Fate as well, so not really too much gained, but I think it has been answered for the most part. 4 members of DRX now in this area. Now Fate is going to wander up the river. Let's see what the Emperor's actually going to be able to do here as Kingin decides that he wants to get rid of him. Pyosik should be able to get the smite as Summit, not going to land it onto Shelly there. It does eventually mean that Pyosik grabs that Herald. The Jace also going to fall down. Effort gets a pulverize, but it's just not quite enough as now Becca. He's the one that told Croco that he wasn't allowed in this battle, and goodbye Fate, you are dead as well. Meanwhile, the bottom lane is just a 1v1, and that's absolutely fine as Becca's getting hunted down by Croco, but Croco knows that it's going to be quite difficult. And playing as the Jace right now, when you're like, this is where I should be really getting my aggression on, you feel like that next time around certainly looking a whole lot better. As look at the bowling ball onto Summit. Unfortunately, hits a melee minion. Still trying to stack up this passive. He's just following along. The wallop going to be avoided, but it's Betty Buy's time for Summit, and he is going to go back to the Death Chamber.
Like 5 times in a row.
Well, now Summit's going to get his revenge. Goodbye, Pyosik.
Oh my god.
Just finds him in the river. And
what?
Look at how angry Summit is, dude. He just completes his Eclipse. Or if this was an older iteration of the game where that worked out a little bit better, then perhaps that's a thing too. As that's a pulverize only onto Becca, though, as the tower does go down. Zenith Blade, maybe not the one that Becca wanted, but Kingin's going to be here to help him out. Fate also going to die as Pyosik grabs that kill, and now he's booking it.
You force a teleport, so if you can then disengage, you're completely fine. Prince can't die here, though.
Yep, Solar Flare going to be Captain Jacked very nicely there, as the Blade Whirl also pretty good. Shield Bow will keep him alive for the moment as Bao, one more turret shot and he's dead. Really good position. Fate's going to scooch over the wall, but Croco not going to be so lucky as Becca goes on an adventure that he didn't necessarily want to, but it worked out relatively well. Kingin doesn't quite find the Nara as Croco is burning down and will be taken in the end. Decent scat of the week for the stun onto Effort, but he will survive due to the Unbreakable Will. There is Pyosik locking down that crab. Liv Sandbox still looking for some more opportunities as that's a scatter onto 3 members. Everfrost there as well. Sulka's so good at this. Syndra, and he'll be rewarded with a double kill. Now Prince trying to run, but it's so unfortunate. He'll get eeped and destroyed. Bao grabs that kill, and now DRX thinking about whether or not a Baron's a good idea, as only Fate is left standing.
if it's not a Hail Mary steal, I don't know how LIV Sandbox is going to deal with this. Not happening.
Yeah, Croco ain't going to get in there. Doesn't have flash. No opportunity is now. Yoshik finds another watch out heap. Solar Flare is just going to slow down the Udyr as now Summit, looking to donate himself as tribute by the looks of that, decides against it in the end, is now still wanting to stop DRX from getting free backs.
Samira and on Summit, and then you go from there. Sure, you have an Azir, but just an Azir is not going to do it.
Yeah, Yoshik is going to put people to sleep. Gets a flash already as there's the Killer Instinct to answer. Cal falls down, Summit also in trouble, and they'll grab themselves a red buff as well. We had a look at that gold graph. It did stagnate a little bit, but you can see, based on the kills alone, it looks like this is an absolute shellacking as Val looking for some extra damage. Becca not going to be as lucky, and Prince is going to be able to lock down that kill. Inner turret on the bottom side is going to fall, but now 4 versus 5, DRX do have to back away. Going to find the gap between all of the people. Effort going to get bowling balled as now Fate makes his way back. Solar Flare just says goodbye to Summit. 1 and 6 now on the Jace. And Pioshik, he's just going to solo out this Mountain Drake. And it's not something that LIV Sandbox have any right to contest, especially not without their Jace that was pivotal in any sort of siege or face-off scenario, right? Shock blasts were going to be necessary for that. Yeah, that's definitely a worry. Effort's still sitting at half health, but he can do a lot of work with that. Can potentially Hex Flash his way over here as, okay, Fate gets in, looks for the hero play, finds a couple with the Emperor's Divide as Bao goes golden. Becca looking for Prince now as well, and I have a feeling this is a wallet story, but no, Prince tidies it up! Oh my god, the hero saving LIV Sandbox in this moment, and now they're going to be able to get some real work done.
No way! I say,
what?
listen, I'm telling you.
I'm
know
listening,
what?
don't worry this time, I'm listening.
I need you to listen to me. I'm telling you, the biggest all-in that you've ever seen, and the words haven't left my mouth. Or he finds the biggest all-in that I've ever seen.
Are they just going to win the game? There's 20 seconds on Pioshik,
No!
there's 12 on Bao. Prince still alive, he can wipe these turrets out. Fate there as well, they'll take the first one.
No!
They're looking for the second. Becca's going to turn up. Prince will be stunned for a little bit, but now the Nexus is exposed. 2 seconds on Solka, 3 on Pioshik, but the Nexus is dead, and LIV Sandbox say goodnight. But then sometimes Samira's just find a way. Let's have a look at the replay of the moment. As I'm not going to lie to everyone, I didn't think that this was going to be possible. I thought DRX, with their Mountain Soul, were just going to be too far ahead.
Didn't we all?
Yeah.
Because listen, he cleanses, he blade whirls, and you're like, nah, surely he wouldn't. But he doesn't die.
No, and he's in there melee forever.
Oh my god. I didn't believe it. I said it, but I didn't believe it, and I should have believed.
Should you?
I mean,
I don't know. I think you're
Actually,
allowed.
you're
Irrelevant, because that's the fastest you can kill a Nexus.
yeah.
Because you pop your W and you get right through it very, very quickly.
Don't look at these damage shots. Irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. And also DRX lost with a 2,000 gold lead in Mountain Soul. This, I mean, you can say throw. I think that Prince honestly stole it. Still, certainly not a great way to head towards playoffs if you are DRX. Croco as well with his sick 3.1k damage. Not exactly able to get too much done there. But Pioshik tried his heart out. And unfortunately, last team fight, sometimes you just forget that Samira can wipe out your entire team with impunity.